beautiful South Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They start on the ground with Elliott, and they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He'll buy some time right. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A first down carry by Elliott. And some room to run now. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Now a first and 10 at the 11. Inside give to Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line.
Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up first and 10 at their own 21. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Ready?
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On the counter, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And a tackle going to be made at the 38.
And that's all about recognition right there because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Tua going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Taken right around the 44. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And some room to work. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 66 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
This is Lamb on the end around. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Prescott off play action. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. Kicking into a headwind here in the 2nd quarter. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The 1st down carry by Elliott doesn't amount to much as he'll get forward for about a couple.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. throwing. Prescott.
And he'll go underneath here to Elliott. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
To throw is Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. But this time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. The Dolphins had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
Shifts past him at the 45. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Beckham goes in motion left. Tua now on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Ready? On 2nd down, Mostert.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd and 5 now. Prescott.
He'll get this out wide here to Elliott.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second. Kill. 47. 46.
They go to Elliott again. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Robinson here.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Draw play, Elliott. And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now Prescott. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 39. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Now that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And the lead will hold at 13.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
Here we go.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. A run there with Mostert as he'll push this forward and call it a 4-yard gain on first down.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready.
To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
He'll look to Mostert to start things out. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Wait.
From the 29, Tua. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
A give to Elliott. Always got some breathing room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
126 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts.
Touchdown! CeeDee Lamb, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
97.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest. The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Tua.
And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
And down he goes just beyond the 35, and that pretty move got him some extra space to run.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A first down carry by Elliott. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Elliott. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Prescott now. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ready.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that part, Aaron. I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Play action. Now it's Tua. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Running the counter with Mostert. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 65 yards on the ground for him so far.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Here we go.
This offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
To his throw here, taken in by Gesicki.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 39. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Give him 30 yards there. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle.
Dolphins 6. Jason Sanders, the kickoff for Miami.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Jason Sanders, the kickoff for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Inside give to Elliott. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Elliott.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, He's the guy they turn to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Jerome Baker there on the tackle. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Prescott.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Running with Elliott. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Okay, the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Shot, 17. Ready.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Ready.
A run with Mostert up the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. Defensively, with this lead in the 4th quarter, I guess you can allow a run of that magnitude.
You're right about that, but really the focus has got to be don't fall in love with the idea that you're getting big runs now. You're right. They're actually being allowed. They've got to think really hard about getting some chunk plays through the air, too.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this. You say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for Dallas, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7.